Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a short video about withdrawal. Today it's been, what has it been? 20 months since I've been off of methadone, coming on 2 years soon. I wanted to do a short video about withdrawal. I know a lot of people out there may be going through it, whether it's on painkillers, opioids, heroin, methadone, even Suboxone, or alcohol, right? I wanted to talk about my experience real quick and what was conducive to me being successful. Now, let me say for the record, it's hard. Every day, there's a reason why they say once an addict, always an addict. Every day is a struggle to make sure that you can be successful, right? Every day I wake up and decide I don't want to be on that opiate medication. And there's a reason for it. You know, it wasn't making me feel euphoric or anything like that. It was just when I missed a dose or when I wasn't able to get stuff, it would hurt. I would go through withdrawal, right? But it's not just that. I mean, if you have an injury and you're on something like methadone and you have a high tolerance, it's not going to do anything for your pain. It's going to, the methadone, I know Suboxone and naloxone, Suboxone has naloxone in it, the Narcan, the naloxone in it repels other opiates. Well, methadone sticks to your opiate receptors so much that most people can't really, some people can, but most people can't feel other narcotics because the methadone is on it, right? But like I said, every day is a struggle. I mean, for example, a year ago, I had a broken shin, and I said, you know what, I think I'm going to go back on methadone. And I drove an hour north to get to a clinic. Now, this was a pay clinic. And I did all this stuff, and finally, when in this last second, before I was going to meet the doctor, I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this. It took me 3 months to get off of methadone, and I don't want to do it anymore. And so I left. And what happened was I got a bill for $250 for one urine test. They call it liquid gold in the industry. That's what they're really making their money off of, the lab companies and stuff like that. But yeah, they charged me $250 for a urine test. And I couldn't imagine how much more it was going to be. It's supposed to be like $400 or $500 a month just to get methadone from that for-profit thing. It wasn't a clinic or anything. It wasn't a private. It was a private clinic, not a public clinic. Anyways, if you are going through withdrawal right now, there's a couple things that I want you to try. Now, first off, we all know if you are going through withdrawal and you go to the ER, we know they're going to give you stuff called comfort medication, right? They're going to give you Klonopin, they're going to give you anti-nausal, anti-diarrhea, and all of that stuff. But most of the time, especially if you're going through it, they will not give you opiate medication. And there's a reason for this. They don't want to be held liable, and they don't want you coming back every time for it. So they're going to try and make you comfortable, right? So what can you do? What can you do? I went through 3 months of withdrawal. What can you do to make sure that you don't go through this hell? My biggest advocate was Kratom, spelled Kratom. It's a green powder that comes from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand, right? And there are different strains of it, but I gagged on the powder. Some people make tea out of it and stuff like that. Some people throw it down their throat and then wash it down. What I did was I took capsules and I swallowed capsules. Now, I'm not going to give a dosing suggestion because everybody is different. Some people, they fill it after 2 capsules. Some people need 20. It's totally dependent on your body and your tolerance level for the medication. What I will say is that if you are going to use it for withdrawal, you should definitely use red kratom. Red kratom is best for pain relief and for withdrawal. The green is a mix of stimulant and red, and the white is a stimulant. Also, try and stay away from these things like gold, train wreck, all of these different things that you don't quite know what's in it, right? Unless you get an alkaloid breakdown on the actual package, but you're not going to get that usually. So what I would say is if you can't stomach kratom, try and look for capsules online. There are even kratom shots that you can take that are mixed with coffee, right? And it totally changed my life. Now, kratom has become, I'm sure, I don't know if any of you know this, but if you're on methadone, what happens is it's a 90-day physical withdrawal for most. It was 90 days for me, and it took 6 months for me to get over my depression and my sleeplessness and restless leg syndrome. But yeah, it takes 90 days to withdraw from methadone. Heroin can be 1 week to even a month, depending on how hard how long you've been on it, what your dose is, and painkillers can last 2 days to 2 weeks. Some people have different experiences. Now, I don't want to categorize how long it takes for other drugs when I haven't done that myself, because that's not fair, because some people will say, hell, I've had withdrawals for 2 months off of some of this stuff. I understand. I'm speaking about methadone specifically, and Suboxone. Methadone is such a hard drug to get off of, and it's tricky because so many people are saying that this is the solution to get people off of narcotics. But really what they're doing is they're giving longer lasting and harder to withdraw from drugs to rehabilitate themselves from narcotics, right? And I understand many people will say methadone saved their life. I'll say myself that it helped me stabilize, and it's a good stabilization. But I do think that methadone should be used in tandem with working towards a goal and making sure that you reach certain goals in your life. And I don't think, as a 25-year-old when I was on it, I don't think, my doctor literally said, well, there's no reason for you to get off of it. So I said, for the rest of my life? He was like, yeah, for the rest of your life. You're an addict the rest of your life, aren't you? And I was like, wow, this guy wants me to be on methadone for the foreseeable future. And I had examples of that. I had people who were on methadone since they were 65, or when they were 65, they had been on it for 30, 40 years, right? Anyways, I talk about methadone in my other videos, but the main thing that I want to talk about is how to handle your withdrawal. If you're going through withdrawal right now, most likely you have restless leg syndrome, your joints ache, you're sweating, nights are hellish, your mood fluctuates, and the depression is just so bad. Trust me, I've been there. I know exactly how you feel. I was a combat medic in the Army, and I knew a lot about saving lives and medicine and stuff, but I didn't know how these medications actually worked until I took them. Let me just say this, though. Now, you may not be able to get it in your state. For example, I believe some places in Illinois, some towns, you can't get it. There's some states that don't allow for using Kratom, right? And there are ways around that simply by ordering it or going to another state or whatever. But if you can, try Kratom. Now, some who have been taking Kratom, it is true that some people go to methadone clinics because they are hooked on Kratom. That is true. I'm not going to lie about that. However, many people like that. Kratom is another tool that can be abused or used. And if you use Kratom like I did, I used it for 4 months to get off of a hard substance. And then the withdrawal for Kratom, you could see the withdrawal video. I hardly had any withdrawal at all. And that is the key. When you use Kratom for a shorter period of time, the withdrawal is substantially less. Sorry, I can't talk today. The other things that I did while I was going through withdrawal was I set a goal for myself. I listened to music. That's another big thing, especially if I'm into country, southern rock, and Christian music and stuff like that. But I used music as a way to help myself out of that rut. And I also surrounded myself with people. I didn't stay in bed all day. That's one of the big things that you shouldn't do when you're going through withdrawal, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, I feel so bad. I don't want to go anywhere. My joints hurt." But I'll tell you this, if you go for a walk and use those joints and just go outside and start trying to be around people, go to a park or anything like that, play with your dog, it's going to be so much easier for you to get through this. Now, if anybody on there's watching and want more tips, just write in the comments, and my channel is super small. I can respond to you easily. But also, I'm not sure about what I'm doing with this channel, but if you want me to slowly evolve my content to like include editing and not just talking to the camera like this, let me know. Let me know what you would want to hear about. But I have a lot of experience. I've held almost every job that can be held down, from paper boy to fast food worker to the military to cab driving. I've been to a dozen countries. I've been to almost every state in the Union. So yeah. I don't know what that was, but anyways, I'll talk to you later, and have a good day.